all right? They didn't practice. So now they're talking with a whole new person. They're not sure how that other person's going to begin their conversation. They're not sure what question they're going to ask or how they're going to answer. And that's true improv. So one of the main reasons our students want to learn a new language is that they want to hold a real conversation outside of our classroom. I'm sure you've met people that have said, I studied this language, but I can't speak it. So they feel like they're not successful. So we need to help our students develop strong, spontaneous speaking skills so that they have an easier time when they leave our classroom or out in the real world. So number one is making sure that we give our students the proper tools to get started, providing essential vocabulary that they will need for a specific task or a specific improv situation, sharing useful expressions and phrases that they can use each day in conversations with their peers. It's so important to give them those tools so that they feel confident using the target language. So what does that look like in my classroom? So on the left is a board that I have in the back of the room. So I provide a new phrase every first day of the week. So if the first day is Monday or Tuesday, whichever day it is, I always have a new phrase of the week. I try to make the phrase of the week apply to the unit that we're studying. It's posted in the front of my classroom at the beginning of the week, and students keep like a running list of phrases in their Spanish notebook. As we finish a phrase of the week, it goes to the back of the classroom and it stays there. And it's a great wall because students are always turning their head and looking, because they're useful phrases that they can use in conversation with their partners, in their groups, and with me in class discussions. So it's really helpful to students to have this like phrase wall, right? That they can depend on whenever they're in class or whenever they are in an improv scenario. Even sometimes when they're in that improv situation, sometimes they do look back as well to see, oh, that's how you say that. Oh, I remember that. This is an example. I just took a picture of one of my students' notebook of some of the phrases that we've been using. That I taught on a weekly basis. And I do encourage my students to write. I feel like there's something to be said about writing on paper, not always being on our Chromebook. So I always tell them, take out, los apuntes, that's the notes, and write down your phrase of the week. So it's all about being real, getting dramatic, and tossing the scripts. Like I said, when I first started teaching, I was all about, writing out the dialogues, memorizing the dialogues, and presenting. And then I realized that's really not the way that it should be done. So when I have a video that I want to show, and that I want them to create an improv conversation with, we watch the video together in class, just like I did with you guys. We watch it. Okay. Then I ask my students for feedback. I ask them, what kind of phrase of the week could you use, or what type of vocabulary could you use during this video set? If you were a passenger in the video, what phrase of the week do you think would be helpful to use in this scene, or what vocabulary would you be able to use if you were part of this scene in the plane? Then I pair students, and then we talk about that as a class. Then I pair students together and have them engage in a conversation as if they were passengers in the video while they watch the video. So I play the video for all the students, and they're paired up at their seats with their partner, and they're having a conversation as the video is playing. I encourage them to use the phrase of the week. In this case, it was tengo miedo, I'm scared. But I say, there's other vocab that you can use as well. Be creative with your speech. So then what I do is, instead of bringing the two students that were practicing together in front of the class to present, I choose two random students from two different groups to come and present, because that's true improv. All right. They didn't practice. So now they're talking with a whole new person. They're not sure how that other person's going to begin their conversation. They're not sure what question they're going to ask or how they're going to answer. And that's true improv. And then they present in front of the class. So I do that various times. Usually I do between 3 to 4 groups that present. And then we review how the phrase of the week was used and other vocabulary that was used in all the conversations. And it's a great way for them to use the language in an authentic way.